So here I've got a scene set up with some toon shaders, and I've got my character with toon shaders, and it's all animated and ready, but I don't really have any line work, and that's because this is way too heavy for Blender to be drawing the grease pencil frame by frame. It would end up taking longer than cycles to render that out. What I've done instead is I've duplicated the scene. So what you can do is you can come up here and say a full copy of the scene, and instead all I did was Credit had created this series of really interesting base objects. So in this other scene, all I have is those objects composed around in different ways. And actually, Credit had even set these in the sky, and then I just came through and hid or deleted all of the other objects in that scene. With that scene separated, now you'll notice that I have these objects here alone. Same lighting setup and everything. I actually have a grease pencil object set up in this scene. And the grease pencil object is down here. And I have it hidden from the viewport because you'll notice there's a number of these, and it will get quite heavy quite fast. If I click here to real-time display, I can get a preview of the line work. And I'm just sticking with a very basic black and white and red, which is a quite powerful color palette in general. And I would use this to set up the settings like shown previously. For example, here this object has a lot of complexity. If I decrease the contour threshold, fewer of those lines are going to be drawn. And if we increase it, obviously it will draw all of the faces. But I'm going to actually decrease it quite a bit to just thin out some of the lines, right? It's got an excessive amount of detail. And maybe those lines look a little heavy. Let's decrease that just a hair. That looks pretty decent. So what we're going to do now that we have the grease pencil set up for this separate scene and we have our other scene, we are going to dive into compositing them together. But first, we'll take a look at just compositing one scene by itself.